The following commentary is for satirical entertainment purposes only. Any opinions expressed by its participants are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily reflect those of anyone else, anywhere. We put the K in quality.
Hello and welcome to Kontent. Today we're broadcasting out of your iPod, and I am your moderator, John Boy, and I'm joined with your left earbud, Milo.
Yo.
And the voice of Dante from Devil May Cry, Drew Coombs.
Whoa, slow down, babe.
Today we got an extra special episode for you. Not only is our 10th being our landmark episode, but we also have our celebrity guest host, Mr. Coombs, with us today. Mr. Coombs.
Yes, John Boy. What's going on, brother?
Actually, nothing. We don't have very much going on, but we're going to be talking a little bit about, I guess...
Well, I'll be happy to sit here in silence with you for an hour then. It's terrific.
What happened to EB, though? Did he get sacked or what?
Yeah, he was playing rollerball with LL and Rebecca, and he got hip checked. He's in intensive care right now.
Right.
Poor guy. You can actually send him flowers at digitalcontent.com.
He'd appreciate that in this time of need.
Yeah.
Are you guys serious?
Never.
Good.
So yeah, we're here with the voice of Dante from Devil May Cry, and that would be Mr. Coombs over here. And exactly, how did you land the gig of Dante from Devil May Cry?
Before we get into that, I have to ask, can I say fuck?
Dude, you can say fuck all you want.
Okay, good.
And shit, and balls.
Sometimes I swear a lot when I get excited.
Okay.
You guys are getting me really excited.
Whoa.
How did I get the job at Devil May Cry? Well, you know what? It's pretty standard. Actors audition, actors get jobs. I happen to be the best man for that job, and I'm absolutely thrilled still, even though it's been a long time since I did that. That I had a chance to do that, because that game was something that I just had a ton of fun with. It was actually my first video game job.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I got a ton of jobs after that based on that job.
My first video game job was working on Ghostbusters back in '89 for the NES.
Or when he worked in Tetris when he became the champion of
I was
the world.
I was the original bricklayer. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry. So you were... so you got the job because you auditioned.
Yeah, I got the job.
So how did it work? Did they expect you to just do it on site, or did they give you a script beforehand so that you could work on the role?
Yeah, they give you a little script. You know, I went 1 year with my ex-fiance to a Halloween party as a bricklayer.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, man.
She was first of all, she's super freaking hot. Her name's Laura Catalano, and I had her in a cardboard box with bricks painted on the a square cardboard box that came right below her boobs and right up to her legs. So it looked like she had nothing on. And everyone would look at her and going, like, I don't get it. You're a cardboard box? And I'm wearing construction boots and jeans and a shirt. And I turned around and I go, yeah. And I pointed to the back of my shirt and it says, bricklayer.
Well, that's bizarre, man. The best Halloween costume I ever had was going as a ninja. Man, that was a bad Halloween. It was a terrible Halloween.
We always discuss going as the Tetris blocks.
Yeah, well, no, we got to do it some year, right? We end up each picking a block, and then we dress up as the block, and then go do something. Probably trick or treat, or I don't know.
We never do it though; it's too much work.
Obscure's more fun. It's so obvious. It's like, you know, like what's the deal? Yeah, I like those more obscure ones. Like, you guys ever had any issues with alcohol on the weekends and possibly waking up with a girl that has a different head than your girlfriend? Does that ever happen?
Is it like a different head as in...
As in it's not your girlfriend?
Oh, that's less disturbing.
Well, that's okay, but if it's unfortunate because you've had too much to drink and perhaps she's, you know, a little questionable on the looks factor. One year I had a buddy show up to a Halloween party. He was dressed in drag, so he was a really ugly girl. And he had a mannequin arm draped over his back, and it was chewed off with blood. And he went as Coyote Ugly. Right? You with me?
Yeah.
As in, you know, she was so ugly, he chewed his arm off.
That's nice of him.
There you go.
That's really nice of him.
All from Bricklayer. So I think you asked me a question 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was something about a script. I was just wondering if they did give you the script, if you had like more time to prepare for it than a normal role. Because I've heard from a lot of voice actors that they're just expected to do the script as they're given it on the day of.
Yeah, I have to say it's one of the hardships of acting is if you're not on your game for certain things, it just makes your job that much harder, basically.
Right.
I mean, that particular job, I was given a script initially, just like you're talking about, and then it's like, go. Right? It's like, do what you can. The good news was they liked what I did based on that, so they brought me in for the callback. So by the time my callback came around, even though, because you never know when you're going to get a callback.
Right.
So it's not, I'm not going home, because usually the deal is you finish an audition and you check your sides. Because as an actor, you have to kind of play a mental game where you just go, you know what? That's gone. If I get a call, I get a call. If I don't, I don't. Because if you start thinking about every audition you have, you're just going to be a very lonely person and very sad. So, but that was one of those ones that I was like, yeah, that was good. I like that, whatever. And then I got a call back. So I already had something in my mind about where I thought the character should go. So when I went back in, between what I'd sort of, as much as I say you forget about it, some of them you don't. You try to, but you can't. That was one of the ones that stuck with me. And when I went back in, the director was sort of, giving me some notes that were already sort of jiving with what I was thinking about. And, between what I was prepared to do and what he wanted me to do, we put it all together. And it just was there and started to sing. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Did you dress up?
You mean for today?
No, for the audition.
I mean, I wanted to. You guys,
no,
this is a
3D.
big deal.
No, we all came in gray flannel tuxedos, so.
I missed the memo on that one. That's why I'm in the nude.
Oh, creepy.
You can see that in our show notes.
I didn't dress up, but interestingly enough, that one of the things that was kind of weird about that job was a lot of the guys, like the creators, because the Capcom guys, obviously their big franchise was Resident Evil.
Yeah, I mean at that time it was coasting off of Street Fighter into Resident Evil, then it was coming back to Street Fighter.
Right,
so.
Right. I wasn't sure about the Street Fighter deal, but John Boy, that's your area of expertise.
Unfortunately, that is.
My thing is more like I know what the movie is because I'm in it or I've auditioned for it or I know friends in it.
Right.
So I'm real familiar with the franchises in that aspect. But I knew Resident Evil from the feature, and then I knew that it was a popular video game because of that. And then that's sort of how Devil May Cry was sold to me. They're like, this is our spin-off. This is our next franchise we want to do. And there was a while, there was a rumor for a while that they were going to do, and they might still be doing, a feature of Devil May Cry.
I think it's I don't know if it's actually adaptable to a feature, because it would be very unrated. It would be NC-17 for sure.
Because it's so hardcore.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, Resident Evil's got a lot of hardcore shit in it too, right?
Yeah, you can get away with that because it's zombies, right?
Zombies will fucking do anything to zombies. It's when you get into the real people. So anyway, so that I'm on two tangents now. You're asking me about dressing.
I was just trying to fill a void.
The thing that was interesting was I didn't dress anything specific, but they shot me the entire time that I was doing the voice records for the character, which I thought was kind of cool because when they go back to animate, because when I'm watching it, I'm watching a black and white sketch.
Right.
They're showing me still pictures.
Storyboard? Or?
Yeah, right, a storyboard. But I mean, not like no color and no pizzazz to it, real basic stuff. And they're videotaping my actions. I guess so when they get back to do the animation, they can kind of go, well, this is the character who's brought it to life, and this is what he's doing, and we can sort of take some of that live action and apply it right to the animation. So that was kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Did you recognize yourself in your actions when you saw the game, the final version of it?
That's a good question. Nothing comes to mind off of that really, but the fact that the voice, which I guess was the main thing of my job was to bring that guy alive. Like, it worked.
Well,
it
it's
really worked.
I hear that it's the best voice for the character. On your IMDb board, there's a Miss Carlos who says, I don't know what he's been up to, but he is Dante's best voice. Love Miss Carlos.
And we love Miss Carlos back. Thank you, Miss Carlos.
That was actually really cool because, as you guys know, all I do is frequent the message boards on IMDb. So I'm on IMDb, and I eventually got to Drew's IMDb, and sure enough, there was that guy's post, not Miss Carlos, but the guy who originally had the post that Miss Carlos responded to, and he was just like, whatever happened to this guy after being Dante from Devil May Cry?
Yeah.
And I was just like, he's going to be on our podcast.
So in other words, he's hit the big time. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, we pay you in the millions. Which is
Well, I love that the people are saying that, and that honestly is not the first time I heard that. I think I was saying to you guys earlier that I've heard a lot of press about that game being the best of the franchise. So God love all these people that are fans and wanting to know why I didn't come back, and it's a great question. Let's go to Japan and talk to those guys, get that sorted out.
cool. But before we go to Japan, what about...
Actually, just quick, speaking about your IMDb profile, that actually went up 5% on your star meter recently. So it's this new thing they added. It just says that 5%.
So does that mean I'm at 5% now?
No. It went up 5%. And you've been getting a lot of hits on the profile, and a lot of people are checking you out.
Interesting. So every time I get a hit, regardless of anything, that ups those things. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, which
All
is
right.
kind of cool.
Thanks, Mom.
That's good. You've been doing
Which is a
some,
lie, actually, because my mom doesn't even have the internet. It's totally, it sounds great, but it's like, Mom, please get the internet.
Thanks, Miss Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, Miss Carlos, exactly.
That's pretty awesome. You were working with... you were working in a new feature that was just completed, I think, last year, right? Due Process.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how that came about and what the end result of that was?
That came about in very much the same way most of my jobs come about. The agent gives me a call and says there's an audition for this thing, and you want to check it out. And usually when it's a feature, oftentimes there's a script available.
Oftentimes?
Yeah, oftentimes there's a script available.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. What I meant was
Sometimes there's no script.
nothing, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh,
There
yeah.
actually
Oh
is.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not as funny.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Nothing.
Like the
no
agent
script?
calls you up and they're like, "We have this movie for you."
Just a role? Is
yeah.
it like a basic outline of the role?
You have to audition, but we don't have
Oh yeah.
scripts.
Oh shit. Yeah. That happens all the time. You get sides, and truthfully, sometimes things are so freaking bad. I don't want to read a script. I'm going to concentrate on whatever character they want me to do for this thing, right? But this was one of those occasions that there was a script available. It was summer, and which is a time when I make a little, maybe because I'm in a better mood because like other Canadians, being back in Toronto, summertime just gets you all giddy.
Okay.
So I went up north and I took the script with me for a weekend and I read it and I came back and I told my agent, I said, I dig the script. I really like it. I'd like to read for this. And so he set up a thing, and it was actually, it's funny because it's a real interesting film. It's not your traditional situation because the guy, his name's Michael Halenka, who actually he broadcasts on, I think it's CBC.
Yeah, he's got a radio show.
Right in the morning. So he's not a filmmaker per se, but he wrote this script and he wanted to direct it. So he managed to raise, typical big budget Canadian feature, like, I don't know, $300,000 or something like that, and was going to do this little indie thing. And because I love acting, it wasn't really about money for this thing because it was an indie, so I knew I was going to get rich. But the part was pretty cool, and so I went in, read, and he liked my shit, and kind of went from there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was good.
I have a question regarding your first role in 91, My Secret Identity. How did that come about? You play Slash.
Slash. Oh, man, that's a name I've heard in a long time. When did you say that was?
91.
91. Oh, my God.
I think that's kind of cool because My Secret Identity is like this cult show, right? That exists now. And
oh, really?
Yeah. It's got like a small following.
I don't know. I
Cool. Cool. No, well, the lead kid in it was he was, you know, we were all kids at the time, but Jerry O'Connell obviously has gone on and had a pretty awesome career. I guess that depends on what you're thinking. As far as being financially successful, Jerry's had a terrific career. But no, he's had some good parts. Jerry Maguire and shit like that was, you know, pretty awesome for him. And I was friends with Jerry in Hollywood for a bunch of years when I was living there. He was a great guy. He actually remembered me. He remembered the part. He remembered everything.
Crazy.
Any one of my Canadian friends that went to L.A. and because Jerry's actually, I think he's originally from New York, that did My Secret Identity. We would, you know, you'd run into, just because you're the same age group and you audition and shit like that and parties and blah blah blah. Jerry O'Connell remembered every single person that ever did a guest spot on that show.
Really?
To his credit, I thought was pretty cool. And,
that is really cool. But
yeah.
it's weird because it's very possible that he didn't remember half the cast that's on Stand By Me.
Are they still alive? Half the cast.
What's other one? What?
Three of them.
You know, well, one's career suicide. Star Trek. He'll never work again.
Oh, poor Will Wheaton.
That's right. River, God bless him. Viper
Yeah.
Room. That was a
Fantastic actor.
Sad fucking night. Really, really sad night. Corey Feldman. That's a funny fucking shit right there.
There's actually a film coming out with Corey Feldman and Haim, and it's like the
Corys?
Corey Feldman. Yeah, the Corys. No, it's
It's
not
a
film,
reality
it's a
show.
reality show.
Yeah, with
Their
Heyman.
lives,
Yeah,
their lives after their careers.
they're doing reality shows and everything, man. I mean, right now they got that real life Entourage thing, right? Sons of Hollywood.
Yep.
Yeah, with Tori Spelling's, or I should say Aaron Spelling's son, and Rod Stewart's son, and the guy that Excuse me, I don't know if you guys watch Entourage. I do watch that show. I like that show. I'm a big Mark Wahlberg fan. And the guy that plays Ari Goldberg.
Yeah.
Or is that his name? Goldberg or
I have
Goldman?
no idea.
Ari something. Anyways, that's the third character on the show. Who that character is modeled after. That dude.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, they fucking do reality shows and anything. But back to your question again, because I'm on the ball. When I auditioned for My Secret Identity, I can tell you something that was very weird. They auditioned, and all the actors stood around, and they said, "You're hired."
Really?
And the rest of the actors fucking leave.
That's fucked up.
Dude, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, no other show in the history of fucking auditioning does it like that.
Oh
And it
my
was just
God.
retarded. So you're all kind of like sitting there like,
It's like a reality show.
you know, yeah, it was.
You've been eliminated.
Dude, this is what it was. It was fucking crazy. I'll always remember that because it was like, what?
Especially, was that your first audition experience? as
That
well,
was
or-
my very first TV job ever.
Yeah, like that must have been pretty shocking for
Yeah,
you.
it was strange.
So this is how they make movies, huh?
Yeah. I mean, of course, for me, I had the experience of you're hired. So for me, it worked out fucking great. I was like, right on. This is how it is.
15 other kids in that lineup. They ran into the. Man.
Yeah, little.
They ended up
I know.
auditioning for Screech on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
One of them got it.
You know what the funny thing is? Some of those guys that were auditioning against me were Degrassi guys, wandering the halls of Degrassi. So they already had their claim to fame.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
How weird is that just to be shot down by this dude shows up and I'm in this lineup with all my Degrassi friends. And they're like, they give it to this other dude and they're like, oh, he must be a friend of the director or something.
I have to say, I earned that one. I did. I earned that one.
I mean, it works as long as you get the gig, right?
As long as you get the gig.
Oh, that's great. You actually worked on Odyssey 5?
Yeah, Odyssey 5, Peter Weller. Yeah, that was another fun
Nice.
show.
Peter Weller was the shit in Naked Lunch.
Yes.
Yes, he
Yes.
was.
That's like the one Cronenberg film that I can kind of accept.
Yeah.
Still ripping off Lynch.
Anyway. So, sorry.
I like that transition, by the way.
So Odyssey
That was
5
nice.
was... so you were on Odyssey 5 and it was awesome? Or Peter Weller was awesome? Odyssey
Yeah,
5
Peter
was
Weller.
okay?
Peter Weller was a pretty cool. I mean, obviously everybody knew him from the RoboCop. That was his big claim to fame. But he was just a good guy. You know, he'd been around, done a lot of shit. He was a terrific actor, and
Yeah.
he was cool. I remember going to the screening at the Mount Pleasant Theater here in Toronto, and he was there. And I only worked on it a few days, but he was like, "Hey, Drew, what's up?" And we shot the shit a little bit, and He was just a good guy. And then I ran into him in Yorkville a few times, and same thing. He's like, "Hey, Drew, what's up?" You know what I mean? Like
That's pretty
sometimes,
awesome.
you know, celebrities or whatever, they don't fucking give you the time of day, and some of them are cool, and he was one of the cool ones.
I was actually watching RoboCop this week. It was pretty. Well, I ended up watching it because I was kind of home. So I'm watching RoboCop, and I didn't realize how bad RoboCop is until. I mean, I saw RoboCop as a kid, right? Which is
Sure.
weird because I mean, all kids for some reason saw RoboCop, despite the fact that
It's so violent.
incredibly
It's so violent.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm watching it as after years of not watching it. And Peter Weller is great, but I can't get over Paul Verhoeven's approach. It's always the same thing with this director, isn't it? It's like he
You
always-
don't blame Frank Miller for not wanting to do another project based on his work after RoboCop, right?
Yeah, that was pretty intense. How did he do that? He stole RoboCop?
No, I mean, I'm sure he licensed it out because he was thinking he'd get more money, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, if somebody offers to adapt your comic book into a film, it's like, yeah, I'm going to make some cash here. But then after that was over, he didn't really, he didn't really like the final product of RoboCop, right?
Oh yeah, he had his name removed off of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would explain why you go to convention.
A lot of people don't even know that Frank Miller made RoboCop, right?
No. Well, right here. So you're saying RoboCop was a cartoon?
It was a comic
book, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Frank Miller. And then
shit,
since
I didn't
then,
know that.
after that, the next one he did was Sin City, and only if he could get the assistant or the
Well, no, he wouldn't license it out, right?
Yeah.
Robbie Rod had to walk up to him and just be like, "Look what I fucking shot."
yeah.
right?
It's
And
it's
then,
completely different if you get Paul Verhoeven to adapt your comic book into a film, and if you get Robert Rodriguez to adapt your comic book into a film.
Well, I
You
mean,
can get a lot more respect from the person who read comic books growing up and admires that type of culture.
Zack Snyder, I think that's his name. The
Yeah, 300.
Yeah.
He was a big fan. I actually saw, this is going back probably 6 months ago, but I saw 30 minutes of the finished film.
Yeah, they were
Right, I
playing
heard
it.
about that.
Yeah.
At Deluxe. They had a thing, and I went and checked that out. I was a big fan of Sin City, and Zack Snyder, you could tell, was a huge fan. I mean, I think, what did he do? Not Dawn of the Dead. Oh, it was
Yeah,
Dawn
yeah,
of
he
the
did
Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, right.
And some car commercials.
And some car commercials. But he was a cool guy. He was into it. It was a pretty intimate little thing. It was.
Was he there? Was Zack Snyder there?
Yeah, Zach was there. I mean,
Wow.
we were shooting the shit with him for, 45 minutes. It
Cool.
was like he would play a clip. It was pretty cool. It was over at Deluxe, actually in the room where I premiered my first producing project ever, which was Past Present. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
Anyways, it's a 15-minute film that stars Sean Ashmore of X-Men fame and Hawthorne James, who probably one of his most notable roles would be he played Sam the bus driver in Speed.
Oh,
that
shit.
guy. Holy shit.
Cool.
Yeah. So Sean and I mean he'd worked with Spielberg a bunch of times. He was in Seven and whatever. But Hawthorne was a huge, awesome actor, and Sean. So, anyways, but that it was funny because that room was the room that I premiered this 15-minute short film that we shot on 35 out in the desert in California years before. So I was very, very intimate with the room because we mixed the film there and everything. So it was kind of a cool vibe for me to be back there. And then at the same time, it wasn't just like watching. I mean, I was stoked to see 300. I thought it was going to be just fucking awesome. Actually, my producing partner, Joel Keller, who you know, John.
I know of.
He had the book, the 300 book already.
Yeah.
So he was sort of stoked on it. But that night, he gave me a first edition, The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty
Right?
sick.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to, and I brought it thinking, because originally it was supposed to be Zach and Frank Miller. But Frank Miller ended up going back to L.A. the day before. So I didn't end up getting him to sign it for me because I was going to get that signed for my for
You should just
for my
sign
buddy.
it yourself.
Exactly.
Just like, here you go.
It's like, Joel, check it out, man. Right on.
Drew Coombs?
It's fucking huge. Huge. But that was a fun. That was a pretty cool kick-ass night. He'd play like 10 minutes of the movie, and then he'd go open it to the floor, and a bunch of people and geeks and fucking everyone else would just start talking.
Geeks and everyone else.
You know what I mean? It was just like, well, you could tell who was like
Yeah,
super
yeah, for
fucking,
sure.
you know what I mean? And,
Yeah, we had that when we saw our pre-screening as well.
Yeah.
The lineup, you could tell.
there you go, right? So, but
It's
yeah,
not wrong.
it was a fun night. Yeah, and Zach, he played about 30, 40 minutes of the finished film.
That's pretty awesome.
I guess just to get like a anticipation and get everybody all hyped. And I was like, I'm going to see that. And I did. I saw it opening weekend. And I saw it again last night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, it's crazy. Where'd you see it?
Yeah, at the Paramount. IMAX, baby. So
Yeah, that's
that's
the
the
only
only
way
way
to
you
see
gotta
it.
see
Yeah,
it.
Only way
that's
to
the only
do
way
it.
to see that movie. Exactly.
I ended up rewatching it at the. We saw it 2 weeks prior to opening night in the MySpace screening, which was kind of cool. And then we went back and I saw it opening weekend at. I think it was Colossus.
That's an IMAX out there too, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't in IMAX. The IMAX was sold out for quite some
okay.
time. So
Sure,
I ended
sure,
up watching it not in IMAX, and it really doesn't have the same effect.
Really? Okay.
It really doesn't. And I think that the film is made for IMAX.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Oh, it's awesome.
But that's the only way you can see it.
And I did twice.
Yeah, I think
Beautiful.
you got to see it now while it's in theater because I don't know if I'd want to see that at home.
No. Well, you can't. I can vouch for that. You can't.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same.
I'd watch it again because I loved it that much. But I agree with you. You have to see a movie like that to fully appreciate it on the big screen.
Did you see Dawn of the Dead?
I did.
The remake? Did you?
No, I'm lying. I didn't.
I think
Only
that
one
was.
of us
I
can
saw-
lie here.
Yeah.
I was in
You can
Dawn of the
lie.
Dead.
You
I
can-
saw Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead's
That was
sick.
great.
Do you know the new film that's coming out by them? Hot Fuzz.
Right. I didn't until yesterday. I think there was
Yeah.
in the whatever that Tribute magazine. I think there was an ad for it. Guys,
Cool.
creators of Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's going to be pretty decent. And also,
Stephen-
Edgar Wright has a trailer in Grindhouse, the Tarantino movie coming up.
Stephen Wright, the comedian.
Yeah, that'd be sick. No, Edgar Wright, the
Wright.
director. But Stephen Wright would be better, I think.
I'm doing this trailer so that you can appreciate the work that I do.
Is
Nice
this
job,
K
everyone.
Billy Super Sounds?
Yeah. Which was fucking our dogs right there, baby.
Yeah, that's what you did. You did Reservoir Dogs the play, right?
Reservoir Dogs, the play. That was the first time that Quentin Tarantino licensed that play to be performed, ever.
That's
It had
crazy.
been. I understood it was performed somewhere like in fucking Sweden or Stockholm or I don't know somewhere. Blah 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 blah. But that was a renegade production. This was the guy who put it on. I'll give him a plug. John Quinn hounded Tarantino's lawyer for like 2 years to let us do that production, and finally it went up, and we ran for 2 months.
That's actually really cool because most 2-year houndings result in a restraining order. That joke sucked.
I actually went and I saw that play. I really like the vibe it gave off seeing it in the kind of like warehouse structure. It was perfect as to the film, which takes place almost entirely in that.
I'm with you, 100%. That was probably one of the best things about the production was the locale, that space. I think it was called the Artisan Space. It was like King and Dufferin area. It was absolutely freaking perfect.
Yep.
It lended itself to that. It's funny because when I first saw that movie at the time, which was like 10 years before, because I went and got the 10-year anniversary. They did a box set things, and I played Mr. Blonde, by the way. Which I told the director when I auditioned. I said, if I can't play Mr. Blonde, I don't want to be in it. And he's like, it's not really the biggest part. And I said, it's not about the biggest part, dude.
It's the coolest part.
I don't care that I'm not
Coolest
in the
part.
second act. I want to play Mr. Blonde or I'm not doing it. So luckily that worked out for me. But yeah, I went and bought the Mr. Blonde 10-year anniversary thing, and I totally fucking forgot what I was bringing that up.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit about what I was saying? Or
No. No, but the story's cool.
the space. I was gonna say something about that fucking space.
Well,
It was
the space is. I mean, the warehouse is more or less.
I remember what it was. It was the multimedia thing about the show was really
Yeah.
cool. The way you walk outside, and then it would come up on screen and you'd see everything. And then in reverse, when you walked from watching the screen to inside, you'd walk back into the stage.
Oh, did you guys end up seeing the? Man, this was weird. I was on IMDb, trolling on IMDb like I normally do this week, and Lynch had a PSA up from like 3 years ago. Did you see Lynch's PSA for "Do Not Pollute New York" or whatever it was?
I can't say that I did. I may have, but you'd have to refresh my memory. But I'm not sure.
Well, Lynch he does this black and white PSA where these people are littering, and he's got this repetitive drone music, and he's kind of like trying to scare the viewer into not littering.
Okay.
It's a great YouTube video, but it's on IMDb. So
See, I think this really just stems from you riding me all fucking week. Ever since I said Cronenberg sucks, and that Lynch is way better. You've been coming at me with all these like, hey, did you see the Lynch commercial for the PS2 that doesn't make any sense? Did you see the PSA about Lynch 3 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago, John.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that now it's gaining notoriety. I mean, like, at least when, Cronenberg does stuff, it gets released, that time. It's recent. It gets, people watch it when it's available.
Do they? Maybe there's like, John.
What?
When Cronenberg works on a project, he usually appeals to like a very small audience of Canadians, as opposed to Lynch, who has a very wide international appeal. In France, they love his films. In Canada, I'm sure lots of people love Lynch. In the States, that's where he's from. That's where he gets all of his work. So, I mean, how can you say that Lynch appeals to a small audience as opposed to Cronenberg, who appeals to many, which is a lie. I think.
What do you mean that's a lie? It's a lie. I'm calling you
I
out
challenge you to a duel.
John challenged me like 3 episodes ago.
You know what? I have to say this, that Lynch is not as good as you make him out to be. It's just that simple. It's the end result of seeing a Lynch film is always the same. You feel creeped out at what you just watched because of the fact that he's just a creepy person. There's never anything in the film that is that
has substance. Are you kidding me?
Season 2 of Twin Peaks is coming out on DVD, by the way.
Twin Peaks is so amazing. What a great show that was.
Okay,
well, what did you think about Twin Peaks?
I didn't watch any of them.
But did you watch any of the Dead Zone by Cronenberg?
I like Dead Zone. Chris Walken.
But
solid.
How about like Wild at Heart or Blue Velvet?
Yeah. Oh, Blue Velvet. Fucking forget about it. That shit.
Fucking forget about it. Awesome. Blue Velvet got something like a 7.8 on IMDb, as opposed to Cronenberg, one of his most well-known works, History of Violence, 7.5. Straight Story by David Lynch. 8.0, 226.
Look at the stats we're fucking pulling out over here.
Oh my god! I don't understand why you have that prepared.
I'm just saying.
Like
I'm ready for you, John. You keep bashing Lynch, but it seems
man.
Lynch's new film, Inland Empire. Okay, he's writing the script the day of. He writes it in his car before they shoot the film.
How is that good?
7.7.
But okay.
Existenz 5.8.
Is that shit true?
That is true. He's writing the film in the car before they shoot it.
Sounds like a publicity thing.
Exactly. And to make matters worse,
I think he's just
rehashed shit that he's done before. He has a scene with rabbits. Come on.
He's just showing that a film doesn't necessarily have to have this strict narrative when you're making it. When you watch a Lynch film, it's more like watching a series of moving pictures, like you're going to an art gallery or a museum and looking at photographs or paintings. And it's a breath of fresh air that you can see that in a film and take what you want from it, interpret what you feel appeals to you from that film, as opposed to just following.
Appeals to you from that. Have you sat down and had a conversation with any of any of Lynch's fans, any at all? Like I swear to Christ, every time I talk about Eraserhead with any of these fans, it always ends up being the industrialization of man. Every fucking time. Why? How is that not open to interpretation? Right? You see the guy died at the beginning of the fucking movie, and you're just like, no, it's about industrialization.
Gentlemen, where's the love?
Oh.
Usually, the third host, E.B., is there breaking us up.
He gives us one of these, shut the hell up, John, which is really frustrating.
Okay, well, I'll be EB today. Gentlemen, where's the love? Where's the love? It's getting angry.
Oh, man. But I don't understand how you can turn around and say that Lynch has the ability to, like, the quality of work that Lynch produces is always the same. Like, it's
I don't think so. I think, his quality is good, if that's what you're saying. If it's
what
like a high quality that he's
that's
consistent
not
with,
what
I would agree. Just a quick little point that I want to talk about Lynch versus Cronenberg. The Elephant Man, everybody knows this film. Great film, fantastic.
John Hurt,
very well done because
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, it was an adaptation, but he was still able to incorporate his very unique style to the film, as well as adapting the very dreary subject that was John Merrick, the Elephant Man. That film was only made because Mel Brooks, the producers, Mel Brooks, saw Eraserhead in the theater, noted his very unique and genuinely creative style, and then got him the picture Elephant Man. It was actually during this time that Cronenberg ran out of drinking binge money and had to make this schlock horror film, The Brood, after doing 16 made-for-TV movies.
Okay, he didn't do 16 made-for-TV movies, all right? Like, Fast Company or whatever it was he made studio films because the Canadian productions of films don't allow you the ability to make an independent film, throw it into various midnight theaters, and have any
These guys have both
sort of
done
success.
some fucking great films. I think you guys are going to be a stalemate on this one. You go back to the beginning with Videodrome and whatever that fucking Parasite one that he did, and Cronenberg.
Existence was, I think, was the
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, these fucking, I mean, there's some great solid shit there. Right now, History of Violence.
Oh, no, sorry,
That's a solid-
Shivers.
it's a solid- Shivers, that's what it was. Yeah. It's a
See,
solid
but
movie.
I like Mulholland Drive more than History of Violence. And History of Violence is like one of Cronenberg's top 2 films, right? And
Mulholland Drive
there's just a
is just-
series of Lynch films that I would say are strictly better than that.
I auditioned for the guy whose nose exploded, by the way.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Was Cronenberg there? And
No, Deidre Bowen, she's the cast. She
Cast.
cast all the big films for Alliance Atlantis. Yeah.
That's very cool.
My nose didn't get to explode.
did you know it was based off a comic as well? History of Violence.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You guys are just fucking killing me with these stats today. I love it.
There's not really that much in terms of our stats, though. But what were you saying about something to do with Lynch being bad? you were mentioning that how Mulholland Drive is better than most of Cronenberg's films?
I would say so. I think it's shot in a more unique style. It's shot. His use of lighting is better, definitely.
What, you mean black?
No,
Are
well,
you
you
gonna turn the lights off and just shooting that shit?
great. Are you going to say that your use of no lighting, like in film noir, is not acceptable?
No. what I'm saying is, I mean, this particular film, I mean, if your argument is in favor of the lighting,
My argument is in favor of just it's a higher quality production period than most of Cronenberg's films. I mean, the acting is one thing. I mean, Naomi Watts is fantastic with Lynch. They work so well together. What are you giving me that look for?
She's hot.
She is hot.
especially that scene in Mulholland Drive, right?
I think she's really hot in Mulholland Drive.
How creepy is that?
Did she do King Kong? Was she the King
Yeah,
Kong?
she was in King Kong.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see that thing that was on the web with Peter Jackson? Like he had narcolepsy, and Bryan Singer comes and starts directing the movie. Did you guys ever
What?
see
No,
that?
I haven't
No,
seen
what is that?
You guys got to check this shit out. It's fucking phenomenal. Google Singer fucking Jackson and not fucking Jackson. although
Singer fucking Jackson.
we know Singer is you're right, so who knows?
What?
Don't they say Bryan Singer's gay?
Really?
Okay.
Isn't that right?
No, I don't know. I
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing up the facts.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard. Sorry, Brian, if you're not, or I guess it's okay, whatever. But there's a thing where you guys have to watch it. I'm not going to do it justice, but basically, Peter Jackson calls Bryan Singer, who happens to be in New Zealand, prepping for Superman. While Jackson's finishing King Kong, and they film this thing for like fucking, I don't know, 20 minutes of him hopping on a little island hopper plane, flies to the set of King Kong, and he's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but Peter Jackson's calling me, so I'm here. And he's on set. Naomi Watts is there. They're shooting big fucking green screen. And he's like, look, I've been shooting this film for 2 years straight, and, I've been sleeping, an hour a night for the last 6 months. And if Brian, I just really could use your help. If you think you could just maybe just direct this scene a little bit for me, well, and the dude falls asleep. Jackson falls asleep right there, and Brian's like, okay. And Naomi Watts comes over, and he wakes back up. Oh, Naomi, good. This is Brian. Brian, this is Naomi. Naomi, Brian's gonna just help me out for a little bit because I'm a little. I shit you not, dude. And it's like that. I'm not even gonna say anymore. You gotta watch it. It's fucking hysterical.
That's unbelievable.
And the whole thing is like, did these cats stage that shit, or is that legit? Because it's fucking awesome.
No idea.
Either way, I mean, Jackson's work schedule on The Lord of the Rings must have changed his entire life, and the way he directs films. I mean, it was
Intense.
ridiculous, and especially King Kong. I know that took a long time to film as well.
Yeah.
It must have just been some really, really hectic schedule. So if it's a parody, I guess, on that joke, or if it's actually legit, either way, it'd be very interesting.
I think it'd be really cool if you see Naomi Watts shooting lasers out of her eyes in King Kong. This is the scene that Bryan
Singer did.
That's
directed.
right. That's right. That's right.
Everybody in lasers.
No, but all you podcasters out there checking out, what's your show called? Content?
It's Kontent.
Yeah, you check that out. Google that shit. What's your show called?
It's Kontent.
Oh, okay, good. Why are you
With a
looking at
K.
me like I said it wrong?
Because John does that. He makes,
Oh, why? Because you don't like the name of your show?
No,
he's the one who came up with
Have
it.
I opened something up that we don't want to talk about, gentlemen?
No, I came up with it. We needed something snappy. We needed something quick, and
It's Kontent with a K.
That's
there
right.
We go. Yeah. Well, actually, we thought about it on the bus. I think. I don't know. It was a really weird.
I love it. Love it.
It's all right, I guess.
Yeah, baby.
What were we talking about? We were talking about how something about
Probably something to do with Lynch and Cronenberg would be my guess.
Yeah. Where were we? You were talking about Mulholland Drive and how it was something about Naomi Watts.
Do you know what?
What?
Mulholland Drive really feels just like a better Lost Highway. Do you know what I'm saying? Lost Highway
wasn't great. At
I
all.
didn't like. I
it
didn't
was-
like Lost Highway. I'm gonna come out and say it. There's like one or two films that Cronenberg made that I liked, and there's like one or two films that Lynch made that I didn't like. So I mean, consistency wise, Lynch is better, almost in every regard. But
I don't understand how you can say that he's better in every regard, right? Like, I mean, you have Lynch, and he just does the same stuff over and over again. All he does is...
But it's different than everything else that's in cinema right now. I mean, he's making projects that you have to watch and interpret your own meaning from.
Right.
It makes
they also
and
make
that
those
in
high
turn.
school.
Okay, they're a little different. If you're going to compare a Lynch film to a high school production of something, I mean,
If you let's say you were making a film in high school and your mother was Naomi Watts, you're making a Lynch film, right? That's what you're getting out of it. That's exactly what you're
did
getting.
Cronenberg tell you to say that?
Not exactly. He's his agent.
Because I know that you and Cronenberg go way back.
We don't go
I
way
saw you
back.
guys talking at the film festival.
Whatever. Right? I was talking to him. Oh, I told you about. No, I had to have told you about that because you weren't even there. It was. I was talking to Cronenberg at the film festival.
That's the end of that.
Well, I was in a suit and it was really awkward, and I tried to buy a T-shirt from him, and it just didn't work out.
Mr.
He wasn't
Coombs,
selling
The T-shirt he
T-shirts.
was wearing.
He's like, "How much of your shirt?
How much
He's
for
like,
your
"Get away
shirt?"
from me."
do you have any interesting stories about Cronenberg? Would you one day like to work with Cronenberg?
I'd love to work. Well, when I auditioned for History of Violence, I mean, obviously, I was thrilled. I did what I usually try to do, which was, and again, this is, the casting director was quick to say, "This is Cronenberg. You can't change the words." But
Wow.
because I was taking a few liberties with the text. But that's more just an acting thing, because the truth of the matter is, not to sell anyone short, but sometimes you're auditioning for roles that, quite frankly, you can't stand out in.
Okay.
Sometimes they're just like, a lot of actors can do a really fucking stand-up job with that material. So your job is to stand out. So I did a couple little things that I thought would separate me from the bunch, and she didn't jive with that. She was just like, "You can't change the words. This is Cronenberg." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm not fucking getting this one." I know, I was on my way, but absolutely, I'd love to.
What did you think of the film? Did you end up seeing it?
No, I did. I enjoyed it, and actually, the guy who booked it, his name's Aidan Devine, who I actually ran into at the Montreal airport not too long ago. We were both doing jobs out there, and I said to him, "Fucking stand-up job." It was great, and I don't know if he'd worked with Cronenberg before, but he said the film was a great experience. And I mean, listen, let me just try to bridge the gap with you guys. If either of those cats called, Lynch or Cronenberg, fucking sign me up.
What if they both called the same day? And you had to choose because of scheduling.
You got to put it like that, huh? Well, if I had to be forced, don't take offense to this, I would only do this for the Canadian aspect. I'd probably go Cronenberg because my mom would really love that.
And Lynch, not so much, probably, right?
Yeah,
Mom would
my
be like,
mom
"What
would
are
be
you
like,
doing?"
He's a freak. He's a freak.
My point exactly. I agree with Drew's mother.
That's right. Exactly it. But no. I mean, obviously, they're both outstanding filmmakers from my point of view. Enjoyed much of their work.
What do you think is a bigger Cronenberg film, The Fly or History of Violence? Because you were
The
saying
Fly,
that
for sure, The Fly. There's no question. The Fly went down as the signature cult film that Cronenberg made, right? Whereas you have like Lynch, who made Eraserhead, and that's his signature cult film.
Well, the thing is that people see it because it's so original in its style, right? It's not really a good film. I mean, I didn't really enjoy it. It's really slow and not very interesting, but that showcased his style and what he was capable of doing, and then it got him all the works like Elephant Man, and like Blue Velvet, and Wild at Heart, and Twin Peaks, and Dune. All of
And
those.
Dune,
Fuck,
yeah.
right, Dune. That was fucking cool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
see, there you go. There you
I
go.
don't agree with that at all, man. I don't think
You didn't like Dune?
I
The
did not
spice?
like Dune.
I love that. I love
Sting.
that adaptation of Dune. I mean, did you see the other one, the
miniseries?
The miniseries?
I thought the miniseries was better.
No way. The miniseries sucked so hard compared to that film. That film was very, very well done.
Well, that's right. Kyle MacLachlan, he uses him a lot, doesn't he?
Kyle MacLachlan
He's
is
his
sick.
pet project.
Right.
It's his pet project.
Right. That's even all the way back from Twin Peaks. That was probably the first thing, right?
Either that or Blue Velvet. I don't know what came first.
I think Blue
right.
Velvet.
Oh, yeah.
No, it
Oh,
was.
that's right, too. Yeah, he was really young in that, wasn't he?
Just man.
Cool.
But Twin Peaks, great show. Fire Walk with Me.
Mommy.
Yeah, Blue
Fuck,
Velvet.
Dennis Hopper's a freak. I love it.
Yeah.
That shit was awesome.
But it gets you thinking about what you're watching exactly, right? When you watch a Lynch film, you see that like Dennis Hopper's scene, and it shakes you, it scares you into thinking, what am I watching? And then when you watch something else later on, you're still thinking about what am I watching now? It makes you self-aware in a spectator.
You know what? You get the same thing with Cronenberg, though. I mean, you watch his films, and you do get the ability to be aware of what you're watching as open to interpretation. I think it's even more so open to interpretation than Lynch, because I think that in any conversation, again, I'm going to go back to this, any conversation I've had with any Lynch fan always stems from the fact that if you don't get the film, or if you have something that's not the normal aspect of the idea of the film, they turn around and then they say, no, you're wrong, right?
I'm positive that Lynch would not endorse that because of what Laura Dern said at the film festival because of Inland Empires, who said that it's up to everybody's own interpretation. That's why Lynch doesn't even say what his interpretation or what his intentions are when making a project
It's
like that.
very possible that he doesn't even know what he's doing when he's making these projects.
I think that his intention is just to make it as open as possible for everybody else to understand what they want from it, right? I mean, and I think that's why he's one of the greatest horror filmmakers of our time as well, because he leaves it so open that you picture what's scary to you, and you involve that in what you're watching. Not a lot of films can do that. You see a film like Hills Have Eyes or Dead Silence. It's very strict. Do you know what I mean? It's like a horror film.
It's not leaving anything to the imagination.
It's not leaving anything to
Yeah,
the
but at the same
imagination.
time, I mean, I really don't know if those would be
And you
grouped
see-
in the same category as...
I think if you're looking in terms of horror films, I know that that Lynch's films aren't normally looked at that. But you look at Eraserhead, right? You watch Eraserhead. It's slow, not a very good film, but it's scary. It's very scary. The baby crying, the woman
I'll
with
give
the
you that.
puffy cheeks in the radiator.
I think that is a scary film, but at the same time, it's still a film that if you try to find meaning in it, you will be shot down if the meaning that you feel exists is not the norm.
If you're looking for a meaning that is intended, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you're looking for a meaning for yourself, I think you're probably going to get something out of it.
How can someone watch Eraserhead and just be like, I get the meaning for myself is industrialization?
How can they get that?
No, I'm not saying how can they get that, but how can they turn around and make that claim? Everyone making the same claim. There is...
Okay, there's a lot of facts that prove that in that film. I don't know if we want to get into specifics about this film.
No, I don't think we have time to get into specifics about that.
But really quickly, first of all, there's lots of smog. There's lots of factories. He works at a factory, right? He has a dream that when his head comes off, that it is being used still in the factory. He's still being reused and made into erasers or whatever. There's the fact of the mutant baby, probably from pollution, stuff like that.
Soylent Green is people. It's people.
I also have a problem with those types of movies. Anyway, we don't have that much time left.
Sorry about that, Mr. Drew Combs.
Coombs.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, man.
What are you sorry about?
Anyway,
Well, going off on that tangent.
Oh, it's all right. It's your show, man. You can do whatever you want.
okay, great. Emails. We don't have that much time left, but we do have a couple emails to cover. The first email comes in from a Rob Chin. And he writes, "Hey guys, great." This is all one sentence. Oh my god. "Hey guys, great talk show, almost professional. However, I would like to suggest one more on conspiracy theories and/or movies reflecting real life. Example: Tom Cruise's movie where he can predict a crime.
Minority Report.
There you go. Today they can be microwaves and scalar waves and read your thoughts and prevent Bush's assassination. before
This
you
guy's
do it.
crazy.
Or the War of the Worlds movie where the UFO, actually the U.S. government made and copied from the German plans way back in 1944, attacked the world whereby reducing the world's population to the Illuminati's desired goal of 40 million people, and thus consolidating the world's dominance as everyone will want in the USA to protect them. Or the JFK Hoover non-movie conspiracy, microchips smaller than...
This guy's fucking mind is a roulette wheel.
It sounds like something you'd read in feces on the bathroom wall.
Anyway, he goes on to write, I played you guys well at work. I got to make sure the volume is turned low when the little kids are in the store. Mature content and language. I love porn.
Porn.
You guys need a conspiracy
Finally,
section
something we can agree on.
on your show. Information search. Enough said. I do get the third copy of Ghost Recon. Tons of question marks, Rob. You know what? Yeah, we'll send you a copy of Ghost Recon. Yours is going to be open. So you cannot return it. It was, I don't know whether or not you...
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's funny because that's the second email that we have now that refers to porn. The first one was like, get out of the internet.
The internet is only for pornography. Get out.
Yeah,
That's right.
That was a pretty good email.
It's
Did we send that guy that
That's
thing
a
yet?
line in a movie, right? The real doesn't Ben Affleck say it in something?
No. He says.
The real reason why the internet is used is so people can share porn. Or
Yeah,
something.
no, he's just like because
Bitch about movies and share porn with one another.
yeah.
Yeah.
They chose for one voice, and they use that voice to bitch about movies and share
Who said,
pornography.
was it Affleck in something?
It was Affleck
In Chasing
in Silent Bob.
Oh,
Jay and
Silent
Silent
Bob.
Bob Strike Back.
Okay.
It really just sounds like we should be reviewing more porn. It seems
Apparently
that's
everybody
what
wants
our
us to be talking
audience
about
wants.
Porn. I don't know. I don't know if we want to. I don't know if that's going to add any level of class to this.
No, I don't think we should be.
Classy show that it is.
Yeah, exactly. What a great fucking classy show we got.
But Rob Chin and Frank, whomever, will be happy with it. Anyway, we got another email. Anyway, last week we actually said if anyone has Eddie Griffin's email, because he crashed the end zone, we were talking briefly about that. If anybody has his email, to send it in to us, and we'll send them a copy of Ghost Recon. Or something. We'll send them something. Well,
Another copy of Ghost Recon.
So, someone actually sent to us. It's actually one of our writers, our featured writers, sent in an email to us. And apparently Eddie Griffin's email is, will someone hire me at hotmail.com. So he's also getting a copy of Ghost Recon. And we'll be editing.
We don't really check the facts on that one. I'm pretty sure that's not his email.
Oh, I don't know. Probably is.
Hey, you know that show that you were telling me about, John Boy, was Aquatine Hunger Force or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, we sometimes talk about it.
I heard that they won't play it in Canada anymore.
What?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
How are
Why
we
is
going to
that?
find these episodes?
I just heard that.
Why did they have a reason or?
I can't go into any more details about
Right.
that, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's because the only reason why I recognize it because you'd mentioned it to me once before, and I watched it and I had a laugh, and then I saw that I was like, oh shit, it's not going to play in Canada, or maybe could they be making a feature?
They're making a
making a
feature.
feature.
The
Okay,
feature comes out in 2 weeks, I think.
But is it going to air in Canada?
No idea.
See, maybe that's what it was. The feature.
Oh my God.
And the feature won't play in Canada.
That would be terrible.
Well, then I'm driving to Jersey. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I'm seeing this movie opening night, whether or not I'm in
Rock
Jersey.
City.
It's worth it. I mean, in my opinion.
It's going to be a great movie.
Yeah, we should. Everyone should go check it out
I'm
because
really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All our American and viewers overseas should go check it out.
Yeah.
Do we have American listeners?
Maybe one. Eddie Griffin.
Well, we'll make sure to email him, and then that way he can definitely be checking out our show. Anyway, that's it for content this week. I am your moderator, John Boy, and
I'm Milo.
Special guest star Dante. Drew Coombs.
all right. And make sure you guys email us at content@digitalcontent.com so that way we can read your emails on the air. Remember that if you do not send your email with your address, and postage. We can't mail you we cannot mail you a prize that you could potentially win. And I think next week, not this week, but next week, we're going to be giving out the 2 copies of the Captain America variant and the regular Captain America 25, Death of Captain America. So get your emails in so you can win one of those. Anyway, that's all for our show this week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Right on. Late.
Thanks, Drew Coombs.
It's awesome to have you on the show.
Yeah, since your other show didn't show up. So guess it fucking was.